and choke on it.
Death to the outsiders.
I'll turn your world upside down.
You are not prepared.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the stream that aims to please, as always. Thank you so much for being here tonight. It is a Friday night. Everybody's probably happy because no work and whatnot. So that's a good thing. So we're going to go ahead and switch over to the main screen here. First, that's going to be a little bit of a, there's going to be a bit of a hiccup, so bear with me. Hi, that's because TBC decided to do a bit of an update before I was able to bring it up. So yeah, now we're getting it back. There we go. That looks a little better. Sound would be good. Sound would be good. Some music, shall we? I don't know where the, I have to figure out the levels here, but we'll deal with that as we go. Good to see everybody here. I am also doing as much as I've done a couple new things to my stream at this point. Actually, and let's mess with the camera a second here. Let's fix a couple things and then we'll be fine. Actually, I'm sure it'll be fine anyway, but we're gonna mess with it anyway. If we just take and configure just a bit. Oh, let's see here. We're going to, if I can get it to work right. Okay, I think it's good then. It seems to be just fine. Okay, good. It's pretty much where it needs to be. Although I can zoom. Don't want to zoom that much. I'm just going to leave that. How about that? That's fine. So, there's that. Dun, dun, dun. So like I said, hopefully everybody's doing good on a Friday. I mean, it's Friday. How bad can it be? But again, with all the things that I am doing tonight, all the changes that I kind of made in anticipation of this stream, I also am streaming for the first time, doing a multi-stream to YouTube and to Twitch. Not something I've done before, so hopefully it goes well. Anybody in the YouTube side of things, if you want to, throw a shout out in the chat, that would be cool. It'd be the first time. You'll be the first YouTube comment on a stream. I keep forgetting how this was like a burnout husk of a house compared to what it is in the Cata version. I guess they finally got some workers on it. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, right now there's not much going on. I mean, it's just me and some rain, but we'll be fixing that. I've got a level 55 warrior here, trying to get him to 60 before the launch. Sorry. And we'll see how that goes. Right now, he's just about 5 bars from 56, so we should be fine. Unless I have some major issues. Which, I tend to have major issues from time to time. Ask anybody that's been around me for any kind of period of time. So, we have a low-level quest here. It's actually a green quest, but I'm going to get it out of my log here while I'm at it. Might as well. I was going to go on to some other quests that would have been a little bit better for me, but, we're going to take the XP where we can get it. I know the XP for a green quest is not as much as yellow, whatnot, but you also do the quest faster, so it kind of comes out in the wash, in my opinion. Nice old term that I haven't said in a long time. I don't know why I brought it up today, but hey, it works. So there's a lot of people out here tonight, though, so we're gonna have a heck of a time getting these mobs. It would look like. It looks like the zombies, the ghouls, I should say, are going to be harder to come by They don't seem as plentiful as the skeletal warriors here, or the skeletons, whatever they are. Skeletal flayers in some cases. So, we will just chop away with whatever we can. Unfortunately, again, there are not any ghouls here, so we'll deal. I'm gonna try and get it to the point where I don't have to kill any of the skeletons at all. I like how a skeleton can bleed, by the way. I would think they've lost the ability to do that, but clearly not. It is what it is, right? I know Twitch was having issues yesterday displaying how many people were in chat and whatnot. It might be doing the same thing tonight. Of course, yesterday I knew there were people in chat even though it said there wasn't. Right now I don't know if there's anybody. Ooh, oh, son of a... I was gonna charge that sucker, but he got it before me. Now I'm in combat for some odd reason, just because I looked at the thing clearly, even though I didn't actually do any damage to it. Somehow I was in combat with it. All right, we got a space goat and a human, and it looks like the human is on follow. Wonder if I could I block? Aw, goes right through me. I'm a jerk. I think it would be funny to just like knock the thing off follow and just like annoy them, but I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it repeatedly, but the idea of it does amuse me. Oh, that's not gonna work. This one's gonna grab that. Oh, no. And yep, grabbing multiples. Okay, so this may not be the best idea, but I don't have a lot of options. I think across the bridge over there, I could maybe get some. I don't remember. I'm just going to focus on these stupid skeletons. They got to be done anyway. That's what she said. I'm sorry. Or he said. I don't know if everybody got to see my vlog today. Definitely more rambly than I wanted it to be. I was going to edit it down, but it is what it is. So like I said, hopefully everybody's doing well. If you are watching this on YouTube or Twitch, either way, I welcome you to the stream. Been having a lot of fun doing this lately. I've been having fun playing WoW again, which I was conflicted about initially. You know, it's like, ooh, okay, come on. You know, I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue playing, but oh, someone's gonna grab that skeleton. Looks like. Yep. Go ahead and grab it. There you go. It's like waiting for me to grab it. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna share, unlike some of these other people. So, but my plan at this point, I'll put it this way. I don't normally have a set time when I stop. It's usually dictated by my health and my well-being. If I get tired and whatnot, then you know, I obviously have to cut it off. Lately, things have been good. I've been hitting about 3-hour streams pretty consistently now. It's taken me a while to kind of build that up, but I think the benefit of Classic is that it's a lot more chill. I mean, let's face it, these fights and everything, they take a while. Travel takes a while. It's not something that you're teleporting all over the world and stuff and killing 10 mobs at a time. So, alright, some more skeletons. These ghouls are definitely going to be a pain. But once I get the skeletons done, I'll just hang out with schools are. So yeah, in theory, I should be streaming till about 10 Eastern time, which would be about 2.5 hours from now. But we'll see. I'd say the odds are very, very good, honestly. Doing pretty well at this point. Probably should have got a little more rest, but it's not so bad. Where is Ghoul? Give me a Ghoul. I am excited to see... Oh, there's a quest inside here. Look. I am excited to see the stream on YouTube and Twitch. That's kind of cool. Was this the one that starts the little Pamela? Yep. 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 Find Pamela Redpath. Where am I going? I'm so lost. I'm a lost toy. Hello, Alyssa. How are you today? As I run into stuff. I am doing quite well myself. I'm actually... I literally stayed up pretty much all night last night revamping the stream for the most part. Oh yeah, finally a ghoul. So the start screen was new. The intro was new. I'm actually multi-streaming now on YouTube and Twitch. So happy about that. Hopefully that will help things in general. Oh, I also got emotes. I got some emotes and I got some badges. Stinking badges for my subscribers. I've avoided that up to this point just because I was like, I don't know, I think I stated it on Twitter earlier, just, you know, it's, I don't know. I never really felt like I was, I don't know. It feels odd to say, but I never felt like I was kind of worthy of that. Like, I'm not like a real streamer like other people. I see other people and they're amazing at it, and I'm just kind of goofing around. So I never really thought about, or really considered that I would need something like that. But at this point, damn it, I'm streaming. I'm gonna be streaming. Like I said in my new vlog that I put on YouTube this morning, you know, with TBC Classic, we're going to have this for approximately 2 years or so. If they do Classic Wrath, which is a guarantee, then that's going to be another 2 years, so we're looking at 4. Then there's Classic Cataclysm, which will be another 2 years. And then there's Classic Mist of Pandaria. 8 years of streaming and content and stuff. I'm good with it. And even then, after that, you can go back and play the different expansions however you want. They should service those servers just like they are with vanilla still existing, even though TBC is out. So I'm a WoW Classic streamer. I mean, there's just no other way around it. Like I said, I was kind of hesitant about doing it because I'm not a fan of what Blizz has done in its current iteration. But fact of the matter is, I enjoy this, and I'm gonna do what I enjoy. The only time I ever did anything, whether it was, you know, YouTube or streaming or whatever else, it's always been WoW. I've tried other things here and there, and I do play other games. I do enjoy other games, but I enjoy this game in this world, and I'm really thankful that we have, you know, the iteration of the world pre-Cataclysm. And I won't go over and over what was in my vlog. If you want to go on YouTube and watch it, that's fine, but I'm going to tend to repeat myself, and there's going to be people that have already watched it. And then, you know, it's like they don't want to hear it over and over again. They've already seen the vlog for that reason. I don't think there's any ghouls that are available for this quest across here. No, there are not. So, and I remember this being a problem back in the day, too. There's not enough ghouls to skeletal warriors or flayers or whatever else. There's more skeletons than there are ghouls. Let's put it that way. So, this was an issue then. It's an issue now. Which doesn't surprise me. I'm just going to have to hang out here and try and camp some, it looks like. The problem is I don't have a cast. I'm going to have to charge, and that's going to be an issue. Unfortunately. Still need one more skeleton, so it's not the end of the world, but I kind of need, what, 9? 9 of the ghouls? 9. I took German for a year in the high school back in the day. Oh, yay, somebody's going to invite, so it's easier. And they are a priest, so they should be able to... So they should be able to tap some from long distance. From way downtown, bang. We'll see. These respawns are bad too. Oh my god, it's not even the amount of the ghouls, it's the lack of respawns. I really hope this guy can help, because this is going to be a long haul otherwise. Look at these bodies having despawned. So, yay! Fun. This is the kind of stuff people think of when they think of classic WoW, and they're like, oh hey, I don't have that quest. Why don't I have that quest? I don't know where it comes from. Somehow that makes me think that comes from Ironforge. Strange historian. Bring wedding ring to Chromie. I definitely don't have that one. But it is what it is. Fridays are usually tough nights for streaming because everybody goes out. Of course, I don't know how many people are going out these days with everything that's going on, but I mean, things are opening up, so. I'm just waiting for a comment from YouTube because I haven't anybody comment from YouTube. I guess it showed to delineate, you know, who's on Twitch and who's on YouTube. I guess it shows the icon next to the name. It's the way that works. I don't need any more of these. I need the ghouls, man. Alright, I'm gonna lay down here. Or sit. I meant to lay down. Oh well. Oh, there's a ghoul and it's tapped, of course. Immediately a bycaster. I don't know. I have a feeling I need to go somewhere else for a bit and come back and see where we're at on this. Well, it says there's some ghouls up here. They're probably packed too, though. I was thinking, you know, this will be easy. Just knock this one out of the way, out of the park. get it out of the way. That's what I wanted to mix two metaphors. And I didn't. Not two metaphors, but two sayings. And yeah. So, yeah, this ain't working. I wonder if he wants to go over. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get there this way. Okay, so this is not gonna... I don't need these anymore. Have anything else? Where the Lightbringer and... Oh, up there. Eesh. Spirits freed, that's fine. There's other quests to pick up along the way, too. So he gets in our group and then he just writes off. Okay. But we're getting Argent Dawn rep if nothing else. So there's that. Let's see here. One quick second here. Just checking. There we go. Here we go. Very nice. That makes me happy. Can we please get some ghouls? These skeletons don't matter. Got one, got one. If I can get it. If I can get to it in time. Why is my charge not working? Oh well. I have enough rage or something? Even then, I was sitting there doing nothing. Why would that not? Oh good, we got two. That'll work. AoE. I should finish him off. Poor priest was low in health there. He was kind of freaking out. So, we were able to take care of that. Alright, so, we got another skeleton over there. Don't care. Okay, so just 6 more of the ghouls. Just 6. It's fine. We'll be here till tomorrow if that's the case. What could possibly go wrong? Our other fellow who decided to leave the group. I'm green. I don't like it. I got some toxic saliva on me. That's amazing. Not since I took public transit have I had such a lovely experience. Okay. Ghouly, ghouly, ghouls, where are you? We have to kill your ass now. Well, not just the ass, the whole ghoul. Now we just gotta find some. They don't like to spawn much. I'm gonna go over here a little bit because there are some over here too. Yeah, stuck on a fence. Son of a. There's one. See exactly what I was saying. Come on, that's good. There's another one over there, and it's not been tapped yet. Wow. I'm just thinning out the herd here, or the herd is thinning out. I'm not thinning out people. Didn't want it to get this thinking I was talking about the ghouls. And I was talking about people, so few people here that there's actually one standing over there for quite a long time. See if I can try and grab him before somebody else does. No, 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 no. Haha. They must have been AFK. I'll take it. I will take it. I'm sure they were going to get it. Oh, he's got one too. Alright. See if we can bring these two together. Over the fence. Get his attention. There we go. Oh. Alright, 3 more. Oh, there's one there. Yay! People have finally cleared out here enough that we can actually start getting these. Just gonna grab the skeleton, which I don't need. But he apparently does. See if I can get this other ghoul here without dying. This other guy's gonna come get it before I can. Yep, couldn't get it. I don't know why. I do not know why my arrow did not hit him. I forgot I switched to arrows. I've been using a gun up until yesterday. How many do I have of these? Need 9. Getting close now, finally. I'd like to stop fighting. Okay. Yay, that's all of them. Thank goodness. Yeah, we're done. Hey! Should I call you Ben? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Nice to know that my alerts are still working. Definitely appreciate the follow. We're going to be doing a ton, like I said, a ton of streaming. I'm going to get back to the YouTube scene to a degree too. I haven't fully decided what direction, although like I said in my vlog today, I have one thing in particular I've held off on for years that I've always wanted to. Sweet. I appreciate that, Ben. How are you doing tonight? But yeah, I do have another thing that I wanted to do years ago, but it was about TBC, and I was like, well, it's not current content. Does anybody even care? Lo and behold, TBC Classic is a thing, and now it's somewhat relevant, so I'm looking at finally working on that, which excites me because it was something that I was initially excited about. Down to 3 bars to 56, thank goodness. So, alright, so we've got to do these towers. Okay, those are fun because there's so many mobs in there. But it is what it is. Is there a repair here? There's got to be. One of these has to be a repair. But I don't remember which one. It's one of these.
Can I help you?
Nope.
How are you?
You know.
See you around.
Gotta be one of these. There we go. Gotta be. No. Damn, it's been so long. Ow.
Things on
Other working supplies. There we go. Thank you. Been here for a little while actually, playing TBC myself. So something on the second monitor is always great. Exactly. That's why, you know, one of the reasons, I mean, from your perspective, I would suppose in a way it's kind of like having company, but that's, from my perspective, that's definitely the reason why I like to stream. I like to have the company. I think, you know, WoW is one of the more, I mean, it's obviously massively multiplayer, so it lends itself to,
the Alliance.
you know, hanging out with folks, certainly. But this particular, you know, being classic now, it's just so much more chill, and that's one of the reasons why I like streaming this, is because there's not a lot of pressure. It's just hanging out. You know, I don't have to deal with Stygia and all the other damn systems. No command tables. Without chat having to pop off like a lot of... Oh, yeah. I see, and it's funny because you say that, because I can't see... I've seen streamers that will be on camera and just like play and not communicate with chat, and I don't understand that. To me, like I said, the reason I do this is because I have the company. I think that's what's... You build a community. I mean, that's the best thing about it. So, otherwise, why wouldn't I just play alone? You know? I don't understand. Oh, I gotta... What the hell? Watchtower marked. How do I have to do it from the outside? Can I not do it from the inside? No, that's not what I wanted. Out of range. Oh. Okay, I had to be in just the right spot, clearly. Ooh, look, we can limbo. Hey, it's like a little luau. So, yeah. I don't understand the idea of streaming but not communicating with your folks. It's the damn reason I like doing it. It's the very reason I like doing it. So, I mean, to each their own, of course. I'm not judging. What I'm saying is I personally cannot fathom it. Hey, Chromie. Oh, there you are. I was wondering. I forgot. You know, I should have known she was in here. It's been a long time. I have not done any of this higher level stuff, quote unquote higher level stuff in vanilla, because I just did not like leveling in classic. It was just too much of a slug. You know. Is this going to be my main for TBC? I wouldn't say so. I'm in a guild that I have my druid that I want to heal on, so I'm planning on that being my main. I mean, certainly that's the one I want to raid and everything on. So, and that's another reason with TBC that I'm super excited. I'm in a guild with some really great people. And the idea of stepping back into Kara, you know, and Zulamon. I didn't get to do like Black Temple and stuff back in the day. I was in a smaller guild, so we really couldn't handle a bigger raid like that. So I'm looking forward to those opportunities if we can get those opportunities. But definitely want to be healing Kara as fast as I can. As soon as we are able to, I want to get in there and heal that. I keep getting hit with crap, and here we go. Yes, you're welcome, little gnome man, that I was able to aggro that, so I cleared the way for you. Oh crap, I got another one. I'm in trouble here. This is gonna be bad. Alright, well. There's nothing I can do, and hiding behind a tree, line of sight. And I don't have any pots. Line of sight does not mean anything to Blizzard. Yeah, there. Wait, did he oh, he de-aggroed. How did he de-aggro? Okay. I would have tried harder. I would have tried harder if I would have known that he stopped. I thought for sure I was just toast, so I kind of like... let's see. Kara, I remember messing around in there back in the day, but I was only like 10 years old. I think I got kicked pretty quick. That's funny. Yeah, I'm an old man, so that wasn't... I mean, not that I'm not immature, because trust me, I am. But yeah, I remember I had played the last 6 months of vanilla, so while I got to experience it, I didn't really do any raiding because I just, I didn't have the gear nor the time. I did, well, to be okay, I did try 40 mana AQ, but they needed tanks and they were desperate, and I was a Fury Warrior. That's what this character is like, a recreation of that character. All right, I need to heal up quick here. I'm in the thick of it here. So I mean, I didn't know anything about tanking. I had not tanked before. So they're just like, go in there and just sunder. So, we tried it, but it didn't work. And it wasn't just me that didn't work. We didn't have the right... I don't know how many people we even had. This was a tiny little server, so to come up with a 40-man was just ridiculous. I mean, the guild I was in, we had a alliance with two other guilds. I can't remember. I think it was 4, but it might have been 3 altogether. So like when we wanted to do group things, we were able to, ask in those other groups about getting bodies. But it was nice because you could be in your own group without being forced to to do this other stuff, but you weren't forced to join if you wanted to do, and that was nice. I appreciated that. Oh god. Okay, it sucks I don't even have a quest to kill these. Feels like such a waste. So once Kara came out, I was excited because, I mean, that was obviously very doable for us. I was playing a mage at that point. I wouldn't start healing until later in BC when I was playing my Blood Elf Paladin. And I would prefer to be playing Horde, but my friends that I always end up doing group content with is always Alliance. Every time I get into a guild where I could do some raiding and stuff, it seems like it's always Alliance. I don't know why that is. I was in a Horde guild where we did some decent raiding, but the guild masters, and I say guild masters, it really was one guild master and then her husband, but they were toxic. They were very loud, very toxic. It was frightening. So... Sorry. Random text from my girl. She's so sweet. That's another thing that's great about everything I'm doing right now is I finally have somebody that supports me in it. There we go. Ooh, somebody else is already in there. Alright, perfect. Oh, there is another one in here. That's fine. I can take him out. Should have waited and let the druid take him out. But, oh well. Be glad to put another talent point in. I'm trying to work my way down the fury tree. I'm getting close, but not quite there yet. And I would like it to get this knocked down to 4 levels to go. I know that I can go to Outland at 58, and I will if I have to, but it's not my ideal. I'd rather be 60. Get a little bit of a leg up. My partner, my girlfriend, don't have any kids. I chose a long time ago not to have kids. I feel like there's enough out there, and frankly, everybody keeps having babies, which, you know, obviously it's their call, but there's so many kids that need to be adopted and stuff like that. It's like, I don't want to add to, and I come from a broken home. My parents divorced when I was 12, and it's like, I don't want to put a kid through that. In fact, when I was married, my ex-wife, when we were running into trouble, looking at separation and stuff, she literally brought up the option of having a kid as if that would help things. I'm like, that's not the way to do it. You don't bring a kid into a bad marriage or a marriage that's not working. You don't. A kid's not a band-aid, you know. So that was kind of when I was like, yeah, oh, this is on a cooldown. Oh, quest items on cooldown suck balls. Sorry. So mature of me. But it's ridiculous. I feel like they should remove those. Of course, I think they should remove them in the current game. But classic, of course, is a whole nother animal, so I don't expect those kind of things to be altered, but some of the ones that still exist, like the cooldowns in Borean Tundra for Wrath, are still in the game, and I think they're ridiculous. Yeah, I guess it is. I mean, I was shocked by her bringing it up, especially her knowing my past, but it was just another reason why, you know, we shouldn't be together. I mean, that's ultimately what it was. Just is another nail in that coffin, which was fine. She's with somebody else now, and she's happy. I'm not with her, and I'm happy. No, the girl I'm with now is. It's gonna sound like an overstatement, but it's the person that I've been looking for my whole life. The person that I didn't think could possibly exist. And I'm lucky that I found her in the way that, or in the manner. What the fuck? I don't know how to talk. I'm trying to figure out the easiest way to do this without grabbing a whole bunch of these. We can get over that. But yeah, it was one of those things where neither of us were looking for someone. And then you hear that all the time. When you stop looking, that's when you find somebody. And it sounded so cliche. And I hate to even say it because it sounds so cliche. But it's the truth. I had totally given up on that aspect. I had too many bad experiences. And in a way, I was just kind of like, you know, I'm just tired and I want to be alone. But no, we just... Ow, he stunned me. Bastard. Yeah. It just, you know, it happened in the oddest of times. Like, we'd known each other for a little while, but, you know, it was just a friends thing. But then, like, right as the pandemic hit, like, we were starting to get together, and then all of a sudden the pandemic hits and we have to, like, social distance and all that crap, and it's like, oh, it sucks. But definitely worked out. She moved in June of last year. So, I mean, we spent the pandemic together. Pretty much keeping each other sane. So, but thank you. I'm glad you're happy. I appreciate that. I really do. It's a long time coming. Alright, so along the watchtowers, I can go turn that in. I might as well do that right now. Get out of this mess. What did Chromie want me to do? I can't remember now. Temporal parasites. Oh, okay. Dun, dun, dun. See if we can get out of here safely. It's going to be interesting. Hey, chicken. Tickle, tickle, tickle. He's a sad cat. That is his name. Sad cat. That's interesting. Alright. See, one of the things I find interesting about this game is the ability to kill as little as possible. I know people are like, you gotta grind, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I don't. Ow. He's throwing shadow bolts at me and I don't like it. I'm under the water, you don't see me. Ha, good, he de-aggroed. Actually shows I'm still in combat, but whatever. And I don't know about anybody else, but I love these rainy days. I love rainy zones. When I was doing Unguro and it was raining all the time, I was quite the happy camper. I don't know why, but I do. And you still being waiting to be able to say that about, you know, being in a relationship like that. I can tell you firsthand that even if it takes a while and even if it's frustrating, you know, like I said, I spent a lot of my life with the wrong people and spent a lot of my life on the wrong people. And, you know, while I have at this point, you know, probably less life ahead of me than I had behind me, I couldn't be happier. Because every... I hate, again, it's going to sound cliche and everything, but every day is just a blast. I don't want to sit there and say every day is a blessing, I'm so happy, blah, blah. And she just makes it fun, man. She just makes life fun. She just keeps me on my toes and challenges me and makes getting up in the morning worth it. So... I have some mail from the auction house. Is there a mailbox here? There's a burnt house, so I don't know if they get mail here anymore. I know they do in the current game because they fixed this house. But yeah, they don't. The mailman don't come here no more. Honestly, she worked at I did, and especially when the pandemic hit, I was doing Instacart, which is the grocery delivery thing, a gig job. Sorry, I just punched the mic. So I was doing gig work, and she actually worked at the grocery store. And so we got to know each other that way. Everything was, you know, everything was cool. Oh man, I wish I would have had this quest before. Now I gotta kill these guys again. But of course, more XP, I guess. But, so yeah, we knew each other. I'd been seeing several people. I was on a dating binge at the time. Not anybody serious or anything, but just people to hang out with and whatnot. And she was in a relationship, so obviously none of that was going anywhere. But as time went on, she had separated from her ex, and she actually went back to him once, but then she separated from him for good, and we started hanging out a little bit, you know, going to movies and stuff like that. Got to know each other better, and as we got to know each other better, that was the thing, because it was just like, you know, you can only know each other so much when you just bump into them randomly in public. So, as we hung out and stuff, I wasn't sure. I really saw her as a friend, but the more we spent time together, even in a friend capacity, I just fell in love with her more and more and more. And, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you just don't even know you're hip deep in love with somebody until one day you just go, wait a second. It's not that big, and but yeah, this is built on a solid foundation of caring for each other as people, and we weren't looking for anything, so we didn't kind of get in our own way. I think most people get in their own way when it comes to relationships, instead of just kind of let things happen. So I think that was the best thing that happened to us, is that we just kind of chilled out and did our thing. And there was no pressure at all, and it just happened organically. It's really easy to put more pressure on a relationship than there needs to be. I mean, it's very easy to do that. And I think, at least for me, that's where my issues came. Is they're already difficult. And then I was making it more difficult. So, yeah. And the thing I think a lot of people have issues with too, and people need to understand, because I see a lot of people that kind of still believe like there's that one person for you. There's probably an ideal person, but relationships take effort and work. So, I mean, you can make relationships work even if, it may not be some kind of, charmed person, like some your soulmate or whatnot. So, I think people do themselves a disservice looking for that one person. I can speak from personal experience myself anyway. I mean, whether it applies to everyone else or not, but when I was looking was when I wasn't finding, because again, it's one of those things where you think you know what you want or need, but you really don't. And you as you get older, you find more and more things that become important, and more things that are important, but you still don't know what is the best thing for you. And you find that out just by being open-minded over time, it's like, it's like, again, it's one of those things where you get in your own way. You're so in the belief that you know what's best for you, that you're missing something that probably is the best thing for you, and it's right in front of your face, but you're busy looking elsewhere. You're looking like around and over instead of looking at what's smack dab in front of you. So that's my advice more than anything. Have an open mind. Have open ears. Listen to what people are telling you. Listen to the potential partner, what they're telling you. Don't just outright dismiss them before you get to know them. I mean, yes, looks, are part of things, but if you let that stuff kind of get in the way, you can be missing out on something incredible. You'd be surprised at what you really need when it comes right down to it. My getting older has only honed those skills and helped me prioritize things, you know, because I've been through some shit. And, you know, knowing not, you know, every day is not guaranteed. I think a lot of people say they know that stuff, but I think it's a different thing to really believe it. It's you can know the right things to say, the correct answers to things, but to really actually believe it in your gut is a whole different thing. And when you get to that point, you end up, for me anyway, I ended up being in a better place. And I was a better place for myself first. And then that made me a better partner also. But I think as I was young and arrogant, I was, you know, looking for someone who fit me, you know, specifically, like, as if I was some kind of arrogant person. Like, they have to, you know, fit me. I don't have to change for them or anything else. And it was just a very young, arrogant, moronic way of looking at things. And I can't say for sure, I never put thought into exactly that's how it was, but I feel like that's a major change. As you get older, your priorities shift quite a bit. And, you know, they always say little things mean a lot. Again, another cliche, so. But it is something that you start to realize that, especially if you get into bad relationships. When you get into bad relationships, you learn quickly what you don't want. I'll put it that way. It's not even so much about finding what you want. It's learning what you don't want and checking those things off. Well, I mean, you have to have a physical attraction. There has to be a physical attraction there too. So don't discount that completely. I'm just saying that open your ears to everyone, you know, friends and everything else. Because I think that's one of the things with Jen that helped me was hearing things that I never thought I would hear from another person. The point of view and the attitude and the giant heart that she has. Those were like, I mean, a lot of those were very obvious kind of things. But it was just the little things. The way she pays attention. Okay, let me put it this way. She is the best gift giver in the world. Again, I don't want to put things on something like materialistic or anything, but it's not about the gift. It's the fact that she pays attention, and she's very considerate, very kind, and, you know, it's hard to find somebody that does that stuff consistently, you know? It's hard enough to find somebody that will even really pay attention and listen. Most people don't, and this is a big thing about conversation. And if you don't remember much of anything from what I say tonight, remember this. Most people don't listen in a conversation. You know what they do? They wait for their turn to talk. They're not even listening. They're just waiting for their turn to talk. When you find someone who really listens, not only like in that back and forth, but like a week later, should be like, hey, you know, you remember how you were saying you hadn't gone to this place or you've never been to this place, whatever else. You know, I found these discounted tickets or whatever else. Would you want to go? That means she's paying attention. She cares. She's listening. To me, that's invaluable. I think that's a huge thing. Because I would say 90% of people don't listen. They just wait for their turn to speak. So, trying. Okay. All right. The ghost around here obviously agrees with me. What the hell was that? All right. Well, at least it was just my lights. Yikes. That was weird. So, yeah. Find somebody that really listens. If there's any advice I can give you, I think that's the best. Everything else is kind of up to each individual person, but that's a huge one. So now we're over an hour already. It's crazy how fast this time flies when I'm streaming. It's fine. Yeah, I'm glad I'm able to. Because I'm going to be playing this anyway. This is the way I figure things. I'm going to play this game anyway. So. Might as well share it with people. Especially, again, with the WoW community. You know, there's something about it. Let me check something here. Let me check something here. Okay. We are good. Very, very good. Dun, 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 dun. I didn't realize I had to wait for my emotes to be approved, but I just got a message saying that my emotes are approved. Yeah, apparently, at least one of them, and said it was. I'd assume it'd be all of them at that point. I don't know why one and not the others, but so yeah, I got sub badges and I've got emotes now. That's something I haven't been doing up until now, so I'm happy about that. So I need to get some emotes that I want that are more tailored to me, but for now I found some really cute like Illidan emotes, and since we're doing TBC I felt those would work for now. So I've got some Illidan emotes, and then my badges, my sub badges are the work glaze of Azeroth, different colors for depending on how long you've been subbed. So again, going with the TBC theme for now. I do want to sprinkle in a few more others. I'm looking for an artist on Twitter to work with me on a few things, but I haven't found anything quite yet. But there's a few people that have messaged me, so I got to go through those. That was tonight, so I haven't had to go through them yet. But right now, everything's got a TBC theme to it. I don't know if you saw the intro to the stream. So I had a new starting soon Dark Portal theme, and then I had a new video intro to the stream, which is TBC centric. Excuse me. Wow. Whew. I had one that was mostly vanilla centric before, but I was like, well, time to mix it up. Oh, hello. Got one hand, so I'm gonna just. I can't believe I made it away. I had to drink, man. So I am definitely looking for some commissions on some stuff, but I want to find the right person to work with. So just need to find that right artist. Wow. Thanks, Ben. Yay. I appreciate that. Very nice. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Okay, cool. Thank you. Now I guess you can play with my emotes. I don't know. Nobody's used the emotes yet. I mean, I just got them this morning, so. But I wanna keep getting some more, looking at some more ideas, and just kind of diversify and figure out what really works for the stream. Right now, you know, I'm kind of getting back going again. I used to stream more. I used to do everything a lot more, but hadn't had the opportunity. But right now is the perfect time for me to get back at it. And like I said, I have support, so that's good. I'm glad you like that. I wasn't sure about it. I have some temptation to change it because it's kind of, it needs to be redone. I know that the graphics need to be redone because those are old and they're very, very low res. But we'll see. Time will tell. That's the great thing about all this stuff is everything will just keep improving over time. And Ben, I appreciate the fact that you you know, like the fact that we have conversations, because that's a thing. That's the way I like to be. So you want to see my talents? You want to see my talents? I'll show you my talents. Can't show you some of my talents on this stream because I will get banned. But I'm assuming you mean the talents in the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you the arms. Got 17 in arms. And then I went down Fury. This is where I'm at on that. So there you go. Yep, some of my talents cannot be shown online, at least not on this website. Yeah. And that other website I'm banned from because ain't nobody want to see that. You're welcome. It's pretty unremarkable talents. This is a character that... This was my first character I started... Well, it's a recreation of my first character I ever started in WoW. Back when I never played an MMO and I didn't know what the hell a tank was or anything like that. I just picked a warrior because I had come from Call of Duty. I had a clan that we played with, and we actually, you know, competed in scrimmages and all that stuff. And so they disappeared into WoW one day, and I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know. I had no concept, so I just picked a warrior because it sounded like, you know, that a warrior's going to go out and kill stuff. Little did I know Fury Warrior back in vanilla was laughable. If you weren't a tank on a warrior, you were pretty much a joke. So, but I still played him. He was my main man, and when Classic was announced and playable, I recreated him, and that was a mistake. I should have went a different route. But I wanted to recreate that experience, which when I'm thinking back on it, it wasn't that great of an experience. So I don't know why I decided... Oh, it's son of a bitch. I don't know why I decided to go that route. I could have easily just gone, you know, with something that I was more used to after, you know, because again, this was my first MMO. I didn't know what I was doing. But at this point, I have a decade or more than a decade. Jeez, it's crazy to think about. Almost 15 years. Of experience, and I should have used my common sense to try something different, but no. So the reason I'm pushing him up is just to get him to 60, to have him kind of somebody to tool around on. I'm going to be using my druid with my guild for most content that I'll be doing in BC. The character of Mardian, who is my namesake. I didn't really get into druids. I like them fine, but I got into my druid Mardian in Wrath when I healed on him. I had been a paladin healer single target paladin healer, of course, in BC. And I was like, ooh, I want to try druid healing. I haven't tried that. So now that I'm comfortable with healing in general, I want to try different types of healing. And when I was like, oh my god, I can move while I heal instead of standing in place like I do as a paladin, I was like, that's it. I am a druid healer. Oh my god, I hated... I mean, I didn't hate as a paladin healer that I couldn't move. But it took a lot more... thought in planning into your positioning and anticipating what the tank was going to take, because I mean I was strictly a tank healer, but one of the things I liked at the time about druid healing is the heal over time, so I could really plan ahead. One of the things that I learned early on when I was younger, I played a lot of sports when I was younger, 12 years of soccer and a bunch of basketball and everything in between, softball, golf. Anyway, what I learned that I was really good at was anticipation. And so with heal over time, it was fantastic because I could really anticipate what was coming and prep them for those things long term instead of just having to like spam heal. It's almost like burst healing as opposed to heal over time. So once I got into druid healing, I was hooked. So yeah, see, that's the thing. I didn't get I mean I liked my shamans, I played shamans, but it wasn't until Cataclysm that I played Enhance. I never even considered it. I don't remember why at all, but I never thought about it. But I fell in love with Enhance and Kata, and now I don't remember what the state of shamans were in BC, and I certainly didn't think about enhancement. But as I've been kind of picking up on, enhancement apparently in this expansion is fantastic. So I've got a low level shaman that I'm gonna level up, and I'm definitely gonna go enhance because I that's my preferred spec if I can play it. If it's not garbage, depending on what expansion or whatnot, I guess. But I absolutely love enhancement. So I'm glad to see that it was really good in BC, and I'm gonna go give that a shot once I get it high enough. So yeah, I don't think you're gonna get 58 by Tuesday, but hey, if you're lucky, Blizzard will have problems with the servers until the very next day. You'll get a whole nother day. You get a whole nother day to wait to play it because the servers will be down anyway. Of course, well, I guess that doesn't help because then you won't be able to level. What am I saying? That wasn't as funny as I thought it would be. Like to throw shade and then realize that I'm making a fool out of myself. That's pretty much the story of my life. Oh, good times. But yeah, I hope I don't play this as constantly as I used to. I mean, I used to play from morning to night, and I'm talking about my ex-wife and everything. I had a part in playing into that divorce too. Don't get me wrong. But one of the things probably was my addiction to WoW, because when we first moved to North Carolina, we lived in Indiana. When we moved to North Carolina, she got a job down there. I didn't work for the first 9 months we were there because, well, honestly, she was working because she was getting ready for the school year as a teacher, and I would stay home, and we had 2 dogs at the time, so somebody had to kind of keep an eye on the dogs, take them out and whatnot. And I took care of everything else. I did all the house cleaning, the cooking, took care of all the bills, all that stuff. So that was kind of my excuse for staying home. But back then you would have maintenance once a week on Tuesdays. Or was it Monday? I can't remember now. I think it was still Tuesdays then. And so my wife never ever caught on that like all the housework got done on Tuesdays. All the bills and stuff got paid on Tuesdays when the servers were down. You know, she would come home in the evening, the early evening, and we would hang out, have dinner and everything else, and all that. And then she would go to bed, and then I would go to bed. And, like, I would go to bed, and, like, as soon as she was snoring, as soon as she was out, I was back up and in my office, and I was playing WoW. I'd stay up for a few hours, go crash. She would get up and go to work. I would get up and probably start farming mithril and thorium in like Searing Gorge. I was so addicted to this damn game, and I'm still addicted to the damn game. I'm not gonna pretend I'm not. I could stream any game in the world, but I keep coming back to this one. And it is what it is. I'm not gonna pretend that I'm, you know, it's taken up a lot of my life. Great thing is, Jen, the girl that I'm currently with, and intend to be for the rest of my life, but we haven't got to that point yet. She plays WoW too. She hadn't played for a long time till we got together, and then we got her a new computer. I got her all hooked up with a sub and everything else, and she sits right over here next to me, and we play WoW. We don't necessarily always play together, but we're usually playing at the same time, so to speak. So yep. Yeah, I'm much older than you, which is, it is what it is. I hate being old. I really do. I wish I would have been smarter when I was younger, but I wasted a lot of my life. But it's okay now. The great thing is, at this point again, you're kind of forced to have perspective because you're not getting any younger, you know. And I never acted my age anyway, and I'm not about to start. See if I can get back around this guy. There we go. So you have one life to live. You gotta be able to live it the way you want. So I'm glad that I have done that for the most part. I had a lot of good and bad influences around me most of my life, so I learned from them. Yay! 300 first aid. Woohoo! The first profession I've maxed out. Well, obviously in this case, not in the past. I used to max out everything. I used to love professions, man. They ruined professions so badly. Pretty much after Mr. Pandaria, I didn't want anything to do with professions. So, even then, I didn't do a ton of professions then. I was much more into my professions in Cataclysm. Well, and prior to that as well, but Cataclysm was the last time I really felt like I should give a crap about my professions. I don't know if I have a lot of insight and wisdom. I have a lot. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's true of a lot of people, not just not just younger people, but yeah, I think there's some truth to that in what I've observed anyway, because like the housing market in particular, you have a lot of younger people that are looking to buy homes instead of just rent apartments now, to the point where there's like a housing shortage. I think that really has to do with younger people having a lot of newfound perspective with COVID, just being stuck at home. And if you're going to be home, you might as well have something you're investing in. I only know this because the past year or so I've been looking at houses, and I want to get a house, but the market's just ridiculous. I mean, I can't. I mean, I could pay some of the crazy ones that they have out there, but I don't think it's in my best interest. What I want to do is just get a little starter home. I don't want anything fancy. I don't need anything fancy. And I want to sit on my savings until I can get something small enough that I can almost pay it off and not have to worry about a mortgage at all. And then get to that point, then I don't have to work. Then I can just sit here and stream and stay home. Because that's one thing COVID has definitely reinforced. I like staying home. I've had so many jobs that I could have done from home, but of course they don't let you. Previous one I had was the inside sales, which is just making phone calls, and I was really good at it. I made that company so much money, and they always brought in competition to. I mean, they wanted another person in there with me, not just have one person, because obviously you can do more with two. But they couldn't find anybody that could compete with me. Not to brag, but I mean, I was there for a year and a half, 2 years, and like 8 or 9 people came in and out of that place. That I trained them and everything, and they would just end up getting let go. Like the first day I was there, just on the day I was training, I got 2 appointments set in like an hour. I was just doing some regular cold calling, and the 2 girls that were there hadn't gotten 2 appointments in like a week or more. So they got let go like 2 days later. That was a Monday. They got like Wednesday they were let go. The other guy that came in with me, we were both from a temp agency at the time. He and I finished out the week, but I come in Monday and he's not there. Or maybe it was he actually had Monday and then Tuesday he wasn't there, something like that. So then I was there by myself. Those 3 people were gone, and like I said, like 8 or 9 came in and out in the meantime. I liked that job. I was good at that job. And it was commission based. I mean, I was getting a good salary too, but I mean, I made my commission very worthwhile. So I was hoping to find something like that during the pandemic, but finding anything remote, even though it seems to be getting a little better and more the norm, it still isn't easy to find. So, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's funny that you say that, though, in a way, because there's one woman in particular that I called and talked to, and we had a great rapport, and everything was good. And so, I got an appointment with her pretty easily. And then another time, I mean, before the appointment, we always called like the day before to just make sure the appointment still was good for the person, so that we didn't send our outside salesperson there and find out, if something came up and they didn't bother to call us. So we always did a follow-up call the next day. So I called her again, and she was happy to hear from me. We had a chat, and everything was good. So then our outside salesperson came and did the appointment and everything. And when he came back, he came in to tell me that it went really well. He's like, he said, there's only one thing. She was really disappointed you weren't there. I was like, what? I was like, I'm not an outside salesman. Why would I be there? I was like, she's like, I don't know. She was really disappointed you weren't there. So later, I think I did another follow up with her on the phone too. Oh, look at this guy. Look at this guy. I want to see what his health is. There we go. Oh, he's at 58, so he probably will be fine. But yeah, I followed up with her, and she was just like, I'm really upset that you weren't there. I was just like, okay, sorry. That made me giggle. Is this guy gonna make it? I think he's gonna be fine. He doesn't have much mana though. A lot of these are half healthers, so I'll keep an eye on him. I think he's gonna be fine. That one cracked me up. Because I don't understand that. I appreciate what you're saying, and I hope that's true. I mean, honestly, I have a face made for radio, so I always knew my looks weren't gonna get me anywhere. But if my voice was, or if my voice could, then I would be in good shape. I did back when I was younger. I wanted to be in radio, and then I realized how little people in radio make, the money that they make, the conditions they work in. So I was prepared. I took mass communications in college. This was mid-90s. So, what the hell? What the hell? I don't understand this. Son of a bitch. That mage. I don't know why they jumped on me, but whatever. So, but yeah, I really wanted to go into that sort of thing. Like I said, radio sucked. But I knew mid-90s, when I was going to school, that, you know, that was the direction things were going to go online. So I was taking mass communications, anticipating that. And I was actually paying my own way through school at the time. And I was so excited to tell my dad that, you know, this is my plan. You know, this is what I want to do. And he just looked at me and said, he's like, well, why don't you take classes that'll get you a job? I'm like, dude, I know what's coming. Yeah, this guy grabbed a whole crap ton of them, and somehow he dropped them on me. I don't know how he dropped them on me. It's not like he can drop threat, you know? Unless they don't have invis at this point, do they? I don't think they introduce invis for mages at this point. So I don't know how he had them all aggro onto me. What? C'est la vie. So yeah, my dad really discouraged me about going to school and pursuing mass communications. So when I saw, you know, like WoW Hobbs was one of the first like WoW content creators I ever knew of, and I saw his videos in like 2006. I was like, ooh, I want to do that. And so I didn't because of lack of confidence. It wasn't until 2011 that I started my YouTube channel. And then I ended up, you know, meeting Hobbs, and not in person, but, you know, we talked over Skype and stuff like that, became friends, and that was a real surreal thing for me too. So, am I a big content creator? No. Will I ever be a big content creator? No. But I like the pocket that I'm in. I like the people that I come in contact with. I like that there's not 1,000 people in here, like you said. My chat isn't flying past to the point where I couldn't keep up with the conversation. I like that. I used to want more people, you know, watching my stuff and coming to my streams and whatever, because I want to entertain more people. You know, I'd like to make as many people happy as I can, but that was the only motivation. It was never about like the numbers or any of that stuff, because it gets to the point that too many people, you can't really make the impact, I don't feel. Although I did alright with YouTube. Some of my machinimas and stuff, I got a lot of really positive feedback on. And even, honestly, even my, the Onward series, the leveling series I did with Xerxes, even though it was just us being goofy and whatnot, I got a lot of good feedback. There was a girl who had anxiety and PTSD and stuff like that, and she'd have a bad day at school, and she would come home and she would watch the Onward series, and she said it made her happy and made her feel better. And you know, it wasn't deep or philosophical. It wasn't anything like my kind of motivational speaking or anything like that. It was just two dorks running around being goofy in WoW, and the fact that reached somebody that way made me very happy. And you know, that's what I'm talking about when it comes right down to it. Those real solid moments in life. And I mean, even in doing this, it's all I can ask for. If I can help somebody, because I know what that feels like. And it does feel weird for me sometimes when somebody's like, you and Xerxes running around getting yourselves killed in Pandaria made my life better. It's hard for me to grasp, but then I think of all the times where I'm like having a really rough time, you know, for whatever reason, and I go to like one of my, you know, fallback favorite movies or something, one of my comfort movies, you know, and you know, I see somebody giving a great performance, somebody that I can really connect with, something that makes me, like, the next day makes me be able to get out of bed in the morning, and I want to thank them. You know, I see that stuff and I want to thank them. And I think, you know, obviously you see a big time actor or something, or actress, you're not going to get that opportunity. But that's what's great, is this platform that we have here. We are able to connect, we are able to communicate, and not only have people say stuff to us, but we can be ourselves to you too. You know? We're no different. I'm playing WoW just like you are. I just have a mic and a camera. Anybody could do this. And the reason I like doing it is because it gives me opportunities to meet people like you, to share this game with other people, to express myself with my machinimas and the other videos that I've made. You know, that was a huge thing. Some of the machinimas I've made are among the favorite things that I've ever done, and it's not necessarily because of the end result. It's more that,
Hey there. Have a good one.
yay, 56. I didn't even see I was that close. Dang. Oh, that means talent point. So get that cleared or finished up so we can get down to Bloodthirst. I'd be happy about that. Thank you. Oh, sorry, I missed a couple of your messages. Hearing comments like that is way better than seeing more views, right? To know that someone connected with your content in a meaningful way. Absolutely. Absolutely. I again, there was one thing and only one reason and one motivation I ever had to have more subscribers on YouTube in particular. Because again, my dad never believed in this. He wanted me to just like And to his credit, he was just wanting me to be financially secure. He wanted me to just like get a good job. You know? He didn't want me languishing, running from job to job. But when I started doing this, and it actually kind of caught on, I was hoping that this would be something where I could make him proud and do it the way I wanted to do it. I really wanted this to succeed for that. And the only reason I wanted a lot of subscribers is because the only way for me to show my father something tangible that he would have seen that I accomplished something was that silver button for 100,000 subscribers. I knew I wouldn't get there, but it was the only tangible thing that I could show my father to make him maybe understand that I've achieved something. And of course that didn't happen, and it's not gonna happen, but that's okay. But that was the only time I ever really thought about numbers, and that was the only reason I did. Unfortunately, I lost my dad last September, and so I never got to do that, which is disappointing, but it's my life. It's fine, you know? Numbers don't matter to me. It's the impact, like you said. It's knowing that whatever you participated in made others around you better, made you better. I mean, for me, I feel like being in this community and hanging out with a lot of the people that I've met has always made me a better person, because I've met some amazing people through this game. I've met a lot of jerks too, but I've met far more great people than I have jerks. I don't want to go in there yet. Temporal parasite. Better late than never. Okay, that's a green one, so I need to get over there. Why don't I... Let's see if I can skirt around in here, but I don't know if I can. I'm going to try. This is what we do. Gots to try. Oh, there's a big boy up here. At least these guys don't chain you like that. Oh my god. Oh. Martha, I'm not feeling so good. I came up here to work on the roof and, well, didn't work out. I want to just like jump on this end and like make him fly like a seesaw, like wee, a catapult. So anyway. The guild that I'm in right now is one of the reasons that I'm pushing for so much in TBC, is because they remind me of the people that I started playing this game with so many years ago. And I know that I'm not going to get to do the stuff I want to do in this game without people like that. Doing Kara and all that stuff. I'm not pugging that crap. You know? And sharing stuff like this game, those are the memories I have. I have a lot of screenshots of my old pals from back in the day. And I still keep them, because I can go through them, and even now I can tell you what was happening in those pictures, what we were doing that day, what, you know, goofing around in Unguro. We spent way too much time on Unguro. We got so high level in there. We were overpowering stuff. We were going there and like formatting devil swords and stuff just to do it. Better late than never. Which quest is this? There's a green one. There it goes. Ramblings of a ghostly woman and Canadian package delivered. She claimed that it was where her horse was. As to where the horse is, or where the package was to be delivered, the ghost remains incomprehensible. Well, maybe they are, but my add-on will show me where I'm supposed to go. Or maybe it won't. Son of a biscuit. Yes, Questy and I think this other one, Classic Codex, I think it is. Unless it's this BW, I can't remember which one it is right now. I'm gonna check though. Actually, I'm not, because I'm not in. It's gonna take forever to log in and out. All right, so I gotta get out of here. Questy is the main one most people use. Uh-oh. I'm just gonna run. Don't feel like messing with that. More will come by and pat towards me, and I'll end up with a bunch of them, and I don't really want that. So, yeah, I appreciate it. It's weird. It's one of those things where, of course, you know you're gonna lose your father and everything else, but nothing prepares you for it. You can do everything every single day, and you know, you're still gonna have regrets because it's just not. There's only so much you can do. It kind of sucks. So now I'm trying to focus on my mother. At this point, she's probably got a ways to go, but you know, I hadn't talked to her in about 10 years. So I went and saw her about a month ago. After everything that happened with my dad, I felt like, you know, even though my mother and I aren't on the best of terms, you know, it was the right thing to do. So I've got to figure out what I'm doing here. I really should go up to Fellwood. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. Go back to Fellwood, because I had a crap ton of stuff to do up there. No, that's not what I wanted. Hello. Not Outland. Son of a biscuit. Right there. Why is it taking me there? Eastern Kingdoms. Okay, there we go. Now stay in the Eastern Kingdom. There we go. Actually, I don't want to be there, do I? Winter, Spring, yeah, Fellwood. I see I have all these quests here. I should go up that way. Especially these green ones now in Winter, Spring. Yep, I think that's what I'm going to do. I just got to get back to Flight Path. I only came here because I had that one quest that was green. I was like, well, I better work on that. I thought the other ones would be a little lower than they are, plus with the density of mobs here, it can get a little hairy for somebody trying to solo this shit. So, nope, you do not know what is around the corner. You never can tell. And you know, if I would have kept pushing and streaming and doing YouTube videos and stuff like that, I might have gotten, you know, more acknowledgement, more subs and all that stuff, but I didn't speak openly about things back then because I was trying to remain positive. And I did have my own personal problems. I mean, after Mists, you know, that's when the divorce went through. I ended up losing my house. I didn't have a job, and I didn't have anywhere to go. So I moved up here to Michigan because a guildie of mine online in WoW said that I could do that. And I had no other choice. I had nowhere else to go. So I had to build my life back up to be able to do anything, and that took time. I still did some stuff in Warlords, but you know, a lot of my time was taken away by trying to start over. And then after that, I mean, Warlords into Legion, which I wasn't as big a fan of Legion as everybody else was. I said in the vlog that I did today, I could tell all these new added systems of the class order halls and the artifact weapons, they were just more things to keep us busy, to keep us subscribed, you know? I could see what they were, what the whole point was. And then, of course, we see now that's what exactly what they've been doing. Menethil Harbor, yeah, that's where I want to go. You have a great day. And so, yeah, my passion, because when I first started doing YouTube and stuff, it was because of my severe passion for the game. And once that went away, I couldn't just keep playing just to play. I couldn't just, I mean, I still played, don't get me wrong, but I couldn't share my enthusiasm and everything with people. One of the good example was the Rares guides that I did in Pandaria. I shared them because I was excited by what Pandaria could be. Because when they first announced Pandaria, one of their panels talking about the expansion was that they wanted to do old school gameplay with all the new technology that they had. So I wanted to hold them to that because I wanted the game to be, you know, back, you know, as you know, true to its roots as possible. Let's put it that way. And so, when I was running around in Pandaria, I found these rares, and the rares in Cataclysm were awful, absolutely awful. They gave you nothing for killing them. The experience wasn't great. Excuse me. They give you gear, which I always think is stupid because the gear is never any good. I mean, rarely do you replace anything you have by killing a rare. So I always hate it when they put gear on these rares. And you didn't even get like an achievement or anything for killing them. In TBC and in Wrath, they had the rares that, you know, if you killed one, you would get an achievement. And if you killed all of them, you got another achievement. So when I saw that they had done the same thing in Mists, where you killed one, you got an achievement, and if you go and kill them all, you get another achievement. Plus, on top of it, they gave you things that I knew would be long-term things that people would want. They gave pets, they gave toys. They didn't just give crappy gear. Some of them did, like Crasserang Wilds was one, and Jade Force also, I think, gave just gear. Not all of it. I think for the most part that was the way it went. But I knew that if you put those kind of things in, like the Kata ones you weren't going to, I'm going to sit up for a second. The Kata ones, you weren't going to go back out of your way at a higher level and work on them because they didn't have achievement with them. They didn't have anything worthwhile that they dropped. But again, with Pandaria, I knew that people were, achievement hunters, and now, of course, you've got the account-wide pets and mounts and everything else, so you could go back and get those pets and everything. That would be beneficial for not just one character. There'd be multiple reasons to go back and do the rares in Pandaria. Still are. All these years later, all these expansions later, there's still reasons to go back and do those expansions. Or do that expansion's content. And so I was excited because they went back to that mindset. And the reason I made the first rares guide that I did, and if you watch it, it's comprehensive in terms of telling you everything about the rares and what they give. And I wanted to brag for Blizzard. I wanted to show people, because this was in beta, so not everybody had access to this stuff. I wanted people to see that when they said they wanted to do old school gameplay, that they were doing, at least I had one example of that, of them following through with that. Because again, they did the rares just like they did in BC and Wrath. And then they skipped it in Kata for whatever reason. So I was ecstatic to be able to show everybody that I thought this was a good indication that they were on the right track. I mean, I didn't know about the rest of the expansion, but I felt like here's some evidence, and I want to bring it to your attention so that you can see that maybe we have some hope here. And it was a small example, but I mean, I thought it was a significant one.
How may I help?
Where do I want to go in Fellwood, by the way? Probably up north, I believe. Oops, Fellwood. Yeah, up north for sure. There's all these other quests down here too. Oh, those are those stupid repeatable ones. I hate that they show those. So yeah, I definitely want to go up north.
I am honored.
Winter, spring.
Good luck.
There we go. So. Can't type. Okay, so yeah, that was, I enjoyed that because I felt like there was positivity in that. Positivity for Blizzard, positivity for us as a fan base. And as time went on, they gave me less and less reasons to make anything. Because I can't make something if I don't believe in it. I'm not going to do clickbait bullshit. Just not. Never have, never will. So, when I got into the beta for Warlords, and the rares dropped more garbage crap gear, and you could only kill them the one time, and they had like, they weren't rare, they had 1 minute spawn times. Nothing rare about that. I mean, the rares in Pandaria only had an hour respawn time, so I mean that was still faster than any other rare spawn that we've seen up to that point that I remember. But they had the hour spawn time, and then the item that they dropped had about a 10% chance to drop too. So you had rare possibilities on both sides. Not only finding one, but then getting the item off of them. So they were still rare. Still had a challenge to them. And there was a crap ton of them in all the zones. So there was plenty to do. But then they changed it again, like I said. I mean, hell, I don't know if it's still there, but there was one rare on Horde side in Frostfire Ridge that was like right by where your garrison gets put up. I mean, it's just sitting there. I think it's in a cave, but still. Actually, there's several. There's a bat, and then there's a Gorgrond, or not a Gorgrond, Grond, just a Grond. And they just drop garbage. And like I said, even the XP's not any good. It's like, what's the point? And then, like I said, I see it respawn like right before my eyes a minute later, and then it doesn't have the silver dragon anymore. It's just a regular mob. I'm like, this is crap. And I actually spoke to the person that was in charge of the rares. I didn't know that at the time, but I mean, I spoke to the guy that was in charge of the rares and explained to them my disappointment with them, and also that I felt like the Pandaria rares were very superior. To which his response was, well, I wrote those rares up for Pandaria. I wrote those on a napkin on a plane flight. I don't care. I don't care if those were easy for you to come up with or whatever else. They were good. They were fine. People liked them. People liked them to the point where they watched my stupid video guides on them. You know? So they must have meant something. And the way he just dismissed them and dismissed, people's feelings about them was very upsetting to me. That was not the kind of people I dealt with when I came to Blizzard before then. The community managers and everybody else that I was in contact with when I was doing stuff, in particular during Pandaria, they were fantastic. How did you manage to speak to the person who made them? Oh, it was just like on Twitter. I mean, it wasn't anything big. But, I mean, when I was doing videos and stuff like that, I had access to at least the community managers. And I ended up also speaking to other people, like Ghostcrawler, who was, like the man when it came to I think he was in charge of WoW at the time. I was on a podcast and we spoke to him. And I was excited because I got to talk to him about the scaling that they were doing, and I can't remember where the scaling was specifically. Well, I didn't do a video of the interview with him. The podcast I was on had a video of it, but the guy that ran that was a real asshole. And I ended up leaving the podcast because I couldn't be associated with him. He was such a jerk, and he ended up. Later on, I found he ended up deleting everything. In terms of the podcast, he just had a little hissy fit. I'm sure he was very immature, so he probably just had a hissy fit and just said, "No, if I can't have what I want, nobody's gonna have what I want." So that doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. But like I said, I was able to contact the community managers. There's one machinima that I was doing that was because they used to, and they still do sometimes, but it's not like they used to. They used to do like cinematic trailers for the patches. They still do them for major patches, but they used to do them for like almost all the patches. And I loved them. I always loved them. And in Pandaria, they were only doing it for like major patches, I guess. So there was one patch, I think it might have been like, was it 8? Were we at 8.2 at that point? I can't remember where we were at. That can't be right. That's not right. But anyway, it wasn't a major patch. So, but I still wanted to do something about it. So I made this machinima that was it was my attempt to do something that felt like a Blizzard trailer for a patch. And as I did it, the more I really played with it, I wanted that beginning, because there was I had ominous music and sounds at the beginning. And then it flashed to a shot of, flying over mountains. But still, it was supposed to be like a little kind of precursor, tense thing, and then bam, we're hit with this scene. And so the only way I could do it at the time is just have a black screen for that part. But what I really wanted was it to be like when you see a trailer from Blizzard, where it's just like Blizzard Entertainment. So you got that vibe, you got that hype, you got that, here we go, we're about to go on a ride. And so I put that in front of it, and it felt so right. But, as much as I could use their assets and stuff to make videos, they've given me permission for that. I didn't think I could just put Blizzard Entertainment on the front. That's just going too far. So I was fully anticipating just to have the black screen. But I was like, you know what? Let me see. I contacted my main contact with Blizzard. I sent him a link to the video that I had made up to that point with the Blizzard Entertainment logo. And I said, look, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm trying to do. But I don't feel comfortable with this, and I don't know if I should, if I can, or, whatever. If this is possible, even if it's possible, I want to make sure I err on the side of caution. So I messaged him. I said, look, if you can just look at this and tell me if it's something that I can do, or if I should just not do it. And I fully anticipated to be like, nope, just don't put our logo at the front. It's just, that's too far. I really, really expected that, but I wanted to roll the dice. So he had it. He looked at it. He sent it up the line, and a couple other people looked at it. I finally got the email back saying, hey, just so you know, it's cool that you do that. The only thing you have to do in the title of the video is say fan made. We just have to make sure that you put something in there that indicates this is not an official video, and just put fan made. Done and done. That's easy. I'm like, if that's all I gotta do, fine. And I did, and I loved it. And I did more after that. Even when they had patches where they had trailers, I ended up doing more of them, doing my vision of them. And I had more people say, man, if it didn't say fan made, I would have thought Blizzard did this. And I'm like, oh God, I'm so glad I put fan made now so I don't get in trouble. I didn't think that was going to be the case. I didn't think anybody would be like, that looks like something Blizzard would do. I mean, it was a compliment, but I just I was doing it because of when I did my machinimas, I literally I would hear music or something, and I would see a vision of it in my head. I don't think I'm an artist, but I kind of think that's, when artists come up with a painting or a sculpture or something like that, I think you have to start from someplace. You have to have inspiration. And that's the only thing I can equate it to. And once I had that idea in my head, my challenge was to make what I was seeing into something tangible for you guys to see. I needed to make you feel the way I felt about what I was seeing. And that was the challenge. And that was what was fun about it, trying to translate this ethereal thing in my brain into something physical and tangible. Not physical, but something tangible for others to get the same thing I was out of it. And when it worked, it's the biggest high I've ever had in my life. And I haven't done drugs, so maybe there's other highs I could have had. But to be able to talk to somebody after they watch one of those and then have them be like, oh yeah, and this here made me feel like this, and I where you went with this is, I didn't see that coming, and when they were saying the things to me that I was saying to myself and feeling all those months before I released it to the world, it was incredible. Am I an artist? I don't pretend to be. I wish I had those same kind of inspirations now, but I don't. Of course, again, that's because we were looking at BFA and now Shadowlands, and I'm sorry, there's nothing about those that inspire me. But I'm hoping, like I said, I already have one thing in mind that I wanted to do a long time ago and I put off. But I'm hoping now in the next 8 years, with TBC, with Wrath, with Kata, with Pandaria, that I can go back. I mean, think about that, too, for me. I really did my biggest stuff in Pandaria, and it's coming out again. It's going to come out again. So my rares guides are relevant again. Maybe I go back and do some stuff that I never got to. I don't know. But that's the great thing. I just feel like this is an amazing opportunity for me to play the game that drove me to do the stuff that I did. And with TBC and Wrath, I didn't start doing content till Cataclysm. So I have these expansions in front of me, do-overs. I got a chance to go back and not only do content that I would have liked to have done back then, but do it better because I have so much experience now. The fact that possibilities are endless that way. Just how can I not be excited about this? I know it's just old Warcraft. I get that, and you can just look at it that way. But that's not my point of view. When these expansions were out, BC and Wrath, I didn't have the confidence in whatnot. I didn't have the ability. I didn't know what I was doing. Even once I did it in Kata, I didn't know what I was doing. I learned as I went. But now to have all of that knowledge and everything and that experience and have these expansions sitting in front of me, it's pretty badass, I must admit. And see, but that's, I don't know. I think everybody, when somebody does something like that, whether it's like you're saying, it's not really creative, or it may not be for you, but you may do something, you may make something that touches somebody else. Like I said, when we did Onward, it was us running around, goofing around, but it turned out when somebody was having PTSD, they would watch those videos to calm down and feel better. I never thought our stupid videos would be of use to any human being that way. But you don't know how others are going to react to what you put out in the world. So welcome, by the way, and I'm glad that you're on the YouTube side of things. It's nice to see some people watching over there as well. Population does interest me. I wasn't sure how things would go on the vanilla side, and I understand people going away from vanilla a little bit. I was excited for Classic WoW, the vanilla version, because I only played 6 months of it, so I didn't experience a lot of things that I would have liked to have. But as I started playing, the leveling was so slow and such a slog, and I was never going to do a 40-man raid. So I was kind of, when TBC came out too, I mean, the only reason I liked vanilla was because it was pre-Kata Azeroth, so to see those areas, those zones unaffected by the Cataclysm again was the nostalgia kick that I wanted from it, so it was fine. But that wears off really fast, and after that, I was just like, I got this character to like 30 something and kind of left him. Because the leveling was just too bad. So and I wasn't thinking about TBC. I was kind of excited by it, but excuse me, I was getting a little hoarse there. But when I thought about it and I got into the beta, I'm like, well, the reason I liked vanilla was because the pre-Cataclysm Azeroth nostalgia. TBC is not going to have that because Outlands has never changed. So I'm like, I don't think I'm going to play this. I'm going to let my sub run out because I have no interest in Shadowlands. And I'm not going to do classic TBC. Then the pre-patch came, and I took this guy who leveling him was a complete slog in vanilla, and I started questing with him, and I was like, holy crap, the leveling is so much better. And again, I put out my vlog. If you get a chance, since you're on YouTube, if you get a chance, you can watch my vlog today. I go into a little bit about it, or actually I go into more detail about it. But basically, being that I only played 6 months of vanilla, but I played the entirety of TBC, the little 6 months that I had of vanilla compared to 2 years or whatever it was for TBC, obviously my memory and my feelings on WoW are going to be much more strong on the TBC side because there's more time put into it, more investment put into it. So when I started playing this, I really felt like, wow, this feels better. This feels like the game that I remember. I don't really remember that vanilla experience because even when I played those 6 months, I played it with guildies. I mean, there was 3 people with me all the time. We always ran together. So soloing it like I was the past 2 years was just like, ugh. But now, with the leveling being faster here, with 10-man raids instead of 40-man raids, it's just. And I was watching a video by Bellular. Even he said, basically like TBC set a big standard for where the game was going to go in the future. It really cemented what people felt like World of Warcraft should be. And he's right. And that's, as I played the pre-patch, all that stuff come flooding back where the vanilla experience for me wasn't quite the same. And it was at that point where I'm like, I'm playing this damn thing. Ooh. Oh, did you subscribe again? What are you doing? Sorry, my alerts and stuff are not the way they need to be. And I also don't have the... oh, you subscribed over on YouTube. Thank you. That's cool that it does that. I didn't see. I'm learning this stuff now. I've never done a multi-stream before. Yeah, I can see that now. I didn't see the logo on that. It just said subscribe. So I need to get some of this stuff straightened out. So anyway, yeah, I'm happy with where I'm at. And like going back to the population, I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but going back to the population, I have said myself out loud that I could see myself going to Wrath and just like staying there. And I think a lot of people will. I think a lot of people will stay in Wrath. I don't know. I don't think I will, although I could see myself. Here's the thing, like with TBC, I'm going to be straight on TBC. I'm not going to obviously go back to vanilla at all. But if I'm in Wrath and then eventually Classic Kata comes out, I can see myself dabbling in both during that 2-year period or whatever it is with Kata. Because Kata was fine, but ultimately it wasn't really my jam. So I can see myself like having maybe one character I progress through Kata stuff while tending to all my characters in the Wrath section. And working on things in Wrath that I didn't get a chance to do maybe originally. Although I did a lot of stuff in Wrath at that point. My life had changed in terms of rating and everything by BC into Wrath. So I did a lot back then. But I can see myself staying more in Wrath, or at least playing both, Whereas, like, if I go into Mists of Pandaria, I'll probably just stay there and focus on that, just like I am doing with TBC. So, weird place for how it started, TBC originally, but honestly, I don't enjoy the classes or anything like compared to Wrath. But Shadowlands is awful. Shadowlands is awful, unfortunately. Oh yeah, it's rose-colored glasses. I mean, again, it's the nostalgia. Like I said, when I first started playing vanilla, I was the same way. I was like, "Oh yeah, this is awesome," but then reality kind of set in. So, yeah, this is the first multi-stream I've done for Twitch and YouTube. I wasn't sure. I thought it might be a bit of a pain, but it's really easy. So I was like, screw it, let's do it. Why not? You know? I mean, YouTube was where I was what I was known for. And so just keep throwing stuff over there. It's a good thing. I used to dabble between YouTube and Twitch because, I mean, I had a ton of subscribers over there on YouTube, but Twitch was more popular, so I was like, But the fact I can do both is awesome. So yeah, the next 8 years with Classic are going to be fantastic. Now here's the thing. Will they do Classic Warlords? I would be really happy if they just stopped with Mists. If they just kept the Classic moniker for Vanilla to Mists and just left at that. Because let's face it, the game changed after that. Where was the first command table? Warlords. What expansions have had command tables ever since? Every single one of them. And these other systems that keep putting in over and over to make you stay in the game and play longer. Instead of like this, they don't have to make me play longer. They don't have to force me to play by putting in systems that take forever. And like I said in my blog, like, people are like, well, there's always been grinds in the game. Yeah, there are, but they've added more. They've added more on top of what they already had. And Shadowlands, they're adding more on top of what they've already added. It's to the point where if I log into Shadowlands, I don't know what the hell I'm doing because there's so many currencies, there's so many things that I need to do. Yeah. But see, the thing is, the reason I don't think they would stop at Wrath is because people will play Kata, people will play Miss. But if they want to stay in Wrath, they can do that too. Since that's an option, if you moved on to Kata and eliminated Wrath, I would say, yeah, they would stick and just kind of make it a trilogy and leave it at that. But since people can choose, I think they'll push forward. And while Kata wasn't a well-beloved expansion, but let's face it, Warlords took the title of worst expansion after that. Even though there was stuff that was good about Kata, or Warlords. So, since you get choice, I think they'll continue on. I really just hope they stop at Miss. Because like I said, from Warlords on, it's when the game started going downhill. And you see all these people that are leaving Blizzard. Well, I mean, I've been saying it for years. Ghostcrawler left 4 days after BlizzCon when Warlords was announced. And then community managers started leaving, and then Chris Metzen left, and then Morheim left. It's been an exodus from that time in 2013. You know? I haven't said it much, and when I have said it, people just didn't really take heed, but now you get like Bellular and everybody saying, look back at the when things started, and I'm like, I've been saying it for years. well, wait a second. How would you define Wrath as being the last classic version? What makes Wrath a classic version as opposed to... I mean, okay, maybe that because the Cataclysm, because of the changes to the world. But again, those still exist in the other classic versions that they'll have. So there's no reason to not continue on to Cata. And the thing is, again, with Cata, as much as it isn't a well-beloved expansion, you've got to give Blizzard credit that they deserve. They came out with an expansion that had not only new content for you to level through and everything else from 80 to 85, but they also revamped the Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor. I mean, completely revamped the entire game, made it so you could fly. Well, yeah, talents and stuff didn't change until Pandaria, though. So, but yeah, I get it. But still, I mean, let's face it. Like I said, with Warlords being with the command tables and everything else, to me, you've got vanilla on up to Miss that is really the classic version of the game. While you're right in some aspects, it's like, more towards what the first game was like, and as the games went on, the expansions went on, yeah, they kept evolving. But I still feel like the heart and soul of the game was still fine until Mist of Pandaria, and then after that, until Warlords, really. And like I said, you see the proof. Because, like I said, 4 days after Warlords was announced, Ghostcrawler leaves. So, no, it was Pandaria where the talents were changed. Yeah, it was Pandaria where the talents were changed. But still, the point is still valid. But yeah, I really think when they introduced the command table, that was where we started getting new systems, where the game went from being like right now, if you play TBC, the game is simple, but it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's a simplistic thing and it doesn't have all these complicated, crappy systems that Shadowlands have, doesn't mean the game is easy. It certainly doesn't mean it's not fun. But somehow all these other systems are supposed to make Shadowlands enjoyable? I don't get it. Because I don't enjoy any of that crap. I don't. It makes me feel like I have to do stuff. And again, World of Warcraft has always had things you feel like you have to do. I mean, you have to get attuned to stuff to raid. You had reputations you had to raise up. But I don't know, those even felt at least like when you were getting attuned, it still felt like it was an adventure, You were still going out into the world and doing these amazing things with your friends. You were still on an adventure. Whereas now you go into your class hall, not your class hall, but your, whatever the hell they're called now, Covenant, and you sit there and you bounce around between all the little mini games that they've got for you to play. And then when you do go out in the world, all you do is do the same old damn world quests over and over and over again. Oh, exactly. That's what I'm saying with the command tables introduced in Warlords. That's exactly where things went. And I still say at that point that's when Activision got involved. And basically, I believe that there are orders from Activision that say you need these kind of analytics. You need these kind of systems in the game so they can honestly make sure we get the results that we want. Because you have variables. People can choose how they play, and they don't have a spreadsheet that says we should get this much out of the game because it'll take them this long to get through this part of the patch. It's a control thing, and I believe it's completely Activision's edict that they have told creative people to, instead of looking at a map and looking at fantasy and player engagement, they started making them look at spreadsheets. They started making them look at numbers. And the creative people like Chris Metzen, who drew the frickin' Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor on the wall of his office, they don't care about that stuff. They believe, and rightly so, that if you do something right with heart and soul in the vein that they would want it, players will attach themselves to it too. And the money will come because of their love and passion for it. And it's been proven. How did WoW get so popular if it didn't have all these damn systems before? Right. Yep. And that's the thing. That's all Bobby Kotick. And I hate the fact that now I know that Bobby Kotick isn't one of my favorite movies. I can't unsee him now. The movie Moneyball, he has a freaking cameo, and every time I think about it makes me want to vomit. I'm like, how the hell did he get into a movie? He probably paid his way. Probably bought somebody off so he could have a cameo. It just makes me mad that I know that's who that is now. Almost ruins the movie for me. Well, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. They need to at least put something in the game where it can speak to the higher ups that say this should give us this result. Let's face it, I mean, gaming, it's a business. It always has been a business. But the philosophies have changed. You've got cash shops all over the place, loot boxes, pay to win. It's not the same anymore. And I think that's one of the reasons why I want to do all this content for TBC and Wrath and on up, if we get Kata and Miss for the next 8 years. Because it's the last gasp of the thing that I loved. They frickin' smothered and killed the thing that I loved. I always said Blizzard would be the ones that killed WoW. They were the only ones that could kill WoW. But unfortunately, it's not really only Blizzard. They're just complicit with Activision. So. Yep. And that's the other thing is WoW has become so esports centric with Mythic dungeons and everything else. They build a game around that. Imagine the dungeons that they had back in the day with all the voice acting and all the cutscenes and, you know, the story that was in so many dungeons. Now the dungeons are just there to facilitate, I mean, yeah, some leveling and stuff in the game, but I mean, it's just there to end up being for their Mythic dungeon esports, and they don't design them with RPG in them. WoW's not an MMORPG. There's no roleplay game there. There's no roleplay involved anymore unless you find it and make it yourself. It's massively multiplayer, all right. But yeah, and it makes me sad. Ultimately, that's the thing. It makes me extremely sad because, again, WoW became an amazing game and grew to the heights that it did And it didn't need all that crap. But apparently it still does now, or it does now for whatever reason. So what are you gonna do, you know? All right, so we have been streaming for almost 2 hours and 45 minutes. But is the bar at the bottom meant to update? Yes, it's meant to. Something's broken. I've been trying to fix it. I was trying to work on it this morning. I couldn't fix it. I need to get that in my alerts to be more updated. So I apologize for that. I am working on that. I don't know what's wrong. I tried everything I could to figure out what was going on. I fixed one thing that I thought fixed it, but obviously it didn't. So I will work on it. I do apologize because your name should be there for recent follower and recent subscriber, and that's why I hate the fact it's not working. But I will get it worked on. So I'm just a bit of noob when it comes to this stuff, and I've got a lot of stuff working in the past week, but that's one still eluding me. And like I said, I thought I had it fixed this morning. I really, really thought it was going to be fine. Yeah, I know. But when you show me support, you should get credit. You know? So. But anyway, like I was saying, it's about 2 hours and 45 minutes. I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit. I don't know if you can hear it. And I hate to run off on you, but with this happening, obviously it's not going to be good long term. So I'm going to have to go and rest a bit. Oh, I got cheered. Thank you, sir. That works. But yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't show down there for some odd reason. I don't know why. I'll figure it out, though. So. But anyway, wait a second. Let me see something real quick. Let me see if I can. Maybe see if I can move it up. Maybe. That can't be it, though. It could be, though. Maybe. Nope. I was hoping that would fix it, but it didn't. Ah, well. We'll figure it out. One second here. Yeah, I've been dealing with some health stuff that past month or so, and I'm getting better. I'm able to stream longer than I have been, but unfortunately right now, like I said, I think you can probably hear it. So I'm gonna go rest. Thank you guys so much. I mean, really, thank you so much for coming out. I mean, anytime you spend with me, like I always say, with everything that's out there, you know, all the streaming services, cable, all the other streamers, YouTube, and everything else you guys could be watching. The fact you spent time with me means a lot, and the fact that we were able to have a good conversation, you know, I really appreciate that. It makes my time easier, and I hope that, you know, the conversation is good for you guys on your end. I'll be back. I want to stream this weekend, but I'm not sure I will. I may have to take the weekend off. I'm planning on doing Monday through Friday streams, but with this guy, I want to get him close to 60 or get him to 60 in time. I figured I would stream it, but I may have to take some time off just to rest up. So just as long as you stay subbed, you can get the alerts and the notifications. Also go over to Twitter, at WowMartian. Follow me there because I always tweet out my streams. I always give the link and tell people when I'm going to stream. So that's another way to kind of keep an eye on things rather than have it just pop up on you out of nowhere. So, but thank you again. Really, seriously, great stream. I love having the conversation, the back and forth. Great conversations tonight. And I'll continue to stream this way. Like I said, I'll have the multi-stream with YouTube and Twitter and Twitch. And I'm glad that has worked out. And looking forward to the future. So thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. You guys have a good